He's just trying to get you now, not the magazine.
Right, okay, so I just wanted to put together a short little video about this. So the Fractal AX8 came out quite a while ago. I'll flash up now when it actually was. But obviously you probably will have heard of this, and you've heard of the FM3. In some ways they're quite similar in terms of what their limitations are. So both can only do 1 amp at a time. I think the FM3 can do 2 cabs. In terms of CPU power, I think they're roughly similar from what I can tell and from what I've read online. Obviously the key difference is, I guess, you've got scribble strips on the FM3 and 3 buttons, whereas you've got 8 extra buttons on the AX8. And in terms of gigging, I think this is quite an awesome arrangement. I do also like the FM3 arrangement. You know, you long press in the middle to get to these different layouts, and then you can sort of choose from scenes and long press to get to other scenes. But I think for a lot of people, they do like the way that the AX8 was configured for gigging. The way the layout works, you can basically put whatever you want on the layout and assign the buttons to do whatever you like, which is super powerful, obviously. The key difference, and I think the biggest jump that Fractal have made between these older style units, so like the AX2, the AX8, and the FM3 and the AX8, I think is honestly the interface. Now, I've built this preset on the AX8. I didn't plug it in. I'd like to try and build stuff on the units, but I will say it's not very easy to build a preset on here. So you go page across, and then you're in layout mode, and you can navigate between blocks, and then you sort of select the type and all that sort of stuff. It just isn't particularly easy, whereas this comparatively, again, this isn't the easiest interface I think in the world to use, but I think it's quite a lot easier to build a preset on the FM3 than the AX8, partly because you've got this arrangement here. I don't know, it just seems like it's organised in a slightly better way, I personally feel anyway. Obviously, if you're using AX8 and FM3 Edit and those kind of software, I guess they're probably very similar to dial in presets on, and I think people really do like that software for the Fractal stuff, and I can see why. I just like to get a sense for how it works on the actual unit first. Now on the FM3 they sort of build on this idea of the X and Y channels on the Fractal, and you have A, B, C and D channels, so you can have, each block can have like 4 different options. So you could have, for the amp you could have channel A a Vibrolux, for channel B you could have a Trainwreck, channel C you could have whatever. On the Fractal AX8 you only have X and Y states, and something I learned today, to change that, if you press edit to get into the block that you want to change, if you press edit twice on that, it changes to the other channel, so from X to Y. I think that's kind of useful to know. That's something I've learned today. But so quite similar in terms of sound. I think the FM3 is going to get the Cygnus update. Personally, I feel like they're incremental updates. So the models and everything in the Fractal AX8 still sounds really good, I think. Stands up really well. The interface is a little bit clunkier to use, but you've got 8 extra foot switches, which could be super useful for gigging. You've got 4 channels per block on the FM3, and I think that's kind of super powerful. Potentially a new way to kind of mess around. Dual cabs as well on the FM3, and then I guess also you've got the chance for updates. Things like the Plex delay, that's on the FM3 AX8 upwards, and things like the Nimbus Stratus reverbs and those things that are really cool, they're on the FM3. The AX8 is never going to get them because I think they've stopped supporting the AX8 with updates now. What you've already got on the AX8 I think is great, so there's probably enough sound in there that you could be 100% happy with that. If that was what you choose to buy because you wanted the extra buttons and stuff, we're not in a situation like potentially we're about to be in with the Quad Cortex, where it's going to need updates, and you know, it's potentially a few years before it gets to the stage where these already are, in terms of having loopers and a full complement of effects and stuff like that, and you know, a wide range of different amps. But that was just my initial kind of impressions on the AX8. I'm going to build some more presets with it, I think, and persevere with it, just because I do really like the way it sounds, and I do really like the way that you can just go into this kind of layout and then set up a looper, and you've got all of these things. You've got fully featured looper, and you go back and you can set this layout to be whatever you want it to be, so you can have scenes as well as stomps and all that sort of stuff. I think it's great, so I'm going to do some more experimentation with that. Hopefully that's vaguely interesting. Let me know if there's anything specific you want me to do with the AX8. I'll drop this preset into my FM3 Axe Effects folder, so you can check it out if you want to. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to like and subscribe, you could, and I'll catch you in another video soon. Cheers.